According to the science classes I grew up with, energy is defined as the ability to do work. Almost all food energy comes originally from sunlight and is then chemically combined and recombined to make up a different chemical element which form our food chain, releasing some form of heat at each stage of this reconstitution. Hi, my name's Alinta and I'm a double graduate of Communications and Environmental Science. Welcome to Alinternet Reflections. Science classifies energy into two categories: kinetic, that is, energy in motion, including electric, radiant, sound, and motion energy, and potential energy, that is, energy which is currently still but has the potential for movement, including gravitational, elastic, chemical, and nuclear energy. This conceptualization doesn't really invite any further philosophical examination, so I'd like to turn my attention to vibrational wavelengths instead. That is, the way that energy in motion transmits itself. For example, sound energy is the movement of energy through a substance, such as air or water, in the form of waves. It is produced when the force of it is such to cause an object or substance to vibrate. One concept that can help us to understand vibrations is resonance. First, let's define some key terms. We've all seen an ocean wave and we understand that the general shape of a wave is a crest and a trough around a baseline of origin. Wavelength is the distance from crest to crest of each of these waves. Amplitude is the height of wave crest or trough from baseline of origin, and frequency pertains to the amount of waves per unit of time. The typical unit used to describe frequency is hertz, and this relates the number of waves per second. Back to resonance. Resonance is the increase of amplitude, that is, height of the wave from its origin, that occurs when the frequency, that is, the same number of waves per period of time, of a wave is equal or close to the natural frequency of the system on which it acts. To further explain, if everything is made up of energy, then everything has a natural bandwidth of frequency that it exists within. For example, a wine glass exists in the world at between 20 to 20,000 hertz, that is, waves per second. If an opera singer were able to utter a tone which was an exact match for the vibrational frequency of that wine glass existed within, then there would be an increase in amplitude but no increase in frequency that could theoretically result in the smashing of the wine glass if it went on for long enough and if the amplitude was wide enough. Mathematician Stephen Strogatz theorizes that a sense of consciousness can be heightened by the synchronization, that is, resonance, of vibrations within an organism, that is, at the theta, delta, beta, alpha, and gamma wave level. As a quick explainer, these are electrical waves produced by the brain reflecting activity. Delta brain waves are the slowest and represent sleep states. Theta represent deep meditation states, alpha waves represent relaxation, and beta waves represent conscious reasoning. Tam Hunt from the University of California, Santa Barbara took the examination of this concept one step further and theorizes that all matter has consciousness. In fact, according to an article published by Tam Hunt in The Conversation in 2017, matter and consciousness are on the same continuum, with non-synchronized frequencies, matter, at one end, and synchronized or harmonized vibrations, consciousness, at the other. She further speculates that all matter exists with the most basic level of consciousness, including, say, rocks, but it is in its capacity to harmonize within itself and external to itself that generates higher levels of consciousness. Energetic harmonization can be found all throughout the animal kingdom. Synchronization has been shown to occur in clouds of fireflies, schools of fish, and flocks of bird, and vibrational resonance is offered as one clue as to how these organisms self-organize and respond in synchronicity to shared stimuli. You might also engage in energetic harmonization. Have you ever noticed that you feel more refreshed, invigorated, and calm after a stroll through nature? The Japanese call it Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. Studies have proved that these practices reduce stress hormone production, improve feelings of happiness, and free up creativity, as well as lower heart rate and blood pressure, boost the immune system, and accelerate recovery from illness. Depending on how healthy the ecosystem you are walking through is, what you might be experiencing is the harmonizing of frequencies of many different entities, joined together through a wide network of mycelium. At least that's my working hypothesis. And we harmonize all the time. Energetically, electromagnetically, we are sending out constant signals to one another. The HeartMath Institute defines the state of harmonization as one of being in coherence, and its studies on anxiety show the difference in heart rate frequency. For example, a study of someone in frustration shows a choppy, non-synchronized, and chaotic heart rate frequency, whereas someone experiencing gratitude has a more consistent and harmonic frequency and amplitude. The same institute has been either publishing or collecting evidence of studies conducted on the electromagnetic connections between heart and brain since the 1970s. In this time, they have found evidence of electromagnetic synchronization, that is, energetic communication, between the brain and heart of a single organism and between two separate organisms, two humans and one human and a pet dog. For example, in one study, they found synchronous R waves of one subject's heart waves via ECG with another subject's brain waves measured via EEG, even when both subjects within the experiment had no visual view of each other and were simply placed in proximity to one another. If we think about the power of positive versus negative intentions, it bears mentioning the ice crystal experiment done by the late Dr. Masaru. In a double-blind study, he had 2,000 people in Tokyo focus either positive or negative intentions and thoughts towards water samples inside an electromagnetically shielded room located in California. His findings were that based on one's conscious intentions, you can directly alter the geometric shape and structure of water, which he then froze into ice fragments. He found that love-based intentions created symmetrical, crystalline, and geometrically beautiful and balanced shapes, much like snowflakes, whereas negative intentions led to a chaotic and fragmented structure where no ice crystal could form. His results for pure versus polluted water found a similar composition in regards to water crystal structure. There are many criticisms of the Emoto experiments, including that he did not have a properly scientific research background and that another triple-blind study was conducted on ice crystal formations and did not have the same findings. However, it is important to note that Dr. Emoto conducted his own replication study, and so I've linked that study in the description below. Whether these findings are true or not, they are certainly a philosophical starting point to our own examinations of how we might be energetically affecting one another and the world around us, and whether our thoughts, our emotions, and our intentions, that is our inner world, have an impact on the outer one. I like to think they do, but we'll keep exploring the evidences for now. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.